Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. An update from the Middle East. When I make videos on the Middle East, I have to very much censor myself. I have to find euphemisms. I have to find ways to give you the piece of news and the interpretation of what's going on over there without upsetting the gatekeepers of the truth. Therefore, I have to be very mindful. I have to be a weasel. That's what it is. Sometimes I don't tell you the whole truth that I know because they can't stand the truth. Therefore, I will try to be evasive, weasel. What do we have here? Here is the first article coming from Agence France Presse. Netanyahu offers Hamas leaders Gaza exit, but demands group disarm. Isn't that sweet? Now, let me tell you what this means. You disarm, you go wherever you want, and we'll find you. And then we're going to pick you up. You want to see a good example of their style? Look at the Nazi hunting operations that have been going since then, and they're still looking for them. Now, that is 1945. We are in 2025. So do you think that these evil Hamas leaders will just drop their weapons and go and live in Dubai? They will be found by Mossad and eliminated in the name of justice, their justice. So, and they know it. Those guys over there know who is who and what is what. They have a direct experience actually with Netanyahu and the kind. All right, next topic. BBC. United States says law applies to, and I'm quoting, all parties in Gaza after Israel kills medics. The United States of America is not going to do anything against Israel but talk. And Israel knows that. After all, who's in charge of whom? So they can say this applies to all parties. It's like you tell a child who's about to pick up your gun from from your desk, a loaded gun. Hey, Gigi, come on, you're going to be punished, you know what I mean? The kid is already grabbing your gun. What are you going to do? First, the gun should not be there. Let's put it that way. So, consequences? Action? No, we just talk. Come on now, Gigi, drop the gun, man. Don't point. Don't point at. Not even at you. No, don't do that. This is the United States of America. They will not do anything until Gigi finishes up what it needs to finish up where it's located. How do you like my garbage talk? So, by the way, at the end of this title is after Israel kills medics. I'm pretty sure that there's a justification for that provided by Israel because, you know, they don't target and they don't make mistakes. And if they make a mistake once in a great while, those people are punished with about 6 months being out of the job. And then they're brought back. All right, next one. Oh, the Houthis. Oh, what are they doing? Sputnik. Houthis say shut down U.S. drone MQ9 over northeast Yemen with locally made missile. Like what? With nails, duct tape? How did they make it? Okay, Houthis said its air defense forces has shot down a U.S. reconnaissance drone MQ9 over the northeastern province of Marib with a locally produced missile. Our air defense, Okay. He noted that this was the 16th drone that Yemen's air defenses had managed to shoot down in the past few years. One of these drones is $56.5 million. Now, that's not a big success. After all, the drone is big and slow and fat. This is a reconnaissance drone. Okay, you can use a AK-47 if it's low enough and destroy it. But anyway, this is what they claim. I want you to do something else for me. I want you to go and get in touch with the big guns, like, I don't know, USS Harry Truman, or I don't know, some F something, or things like this. Then you might impress some. Next. Russia Today. Israeli jets strike Beirut. Do you know where Beirut is? Do you know where Beirut? I will show you where Beirut is. At least 3 people, including a Hezbollah member, have reportedly been killed in the Lebanese capital. Opa, Lebanese. Lebanon. Alright, this is a little map of the area. So here is, in yellow here, Israel, and this is another yellow, which is Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia down here, Jordan, all these, Syria, all these are supposed to be independent sovereign countries. So Lebanon is an independent sovereign country. So is the state of the Jewish state, Israel. So these guys went and bombed Beirut, the capital of another sovereign country. Where is that? I think that was the first, no, the second. Yeah. Remember this one? Applies to all parties. Blah, 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 blah. I have more. So this is Beirut, right? Where is Beirut? Let me take my melon out of this picture. So here is Beirut right here. This is the Middle East, and down here, Turkey, Europe, and here is all the garbage right here. That's exactly how it is, right here. This is what occurs right here. So Beirut is another country, close to all these imbeciles. My point is this. Sometimes, I don't know if it happened to you, it happened to me, in intimate relationship. I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to be evasive again. You start a relationship, and with time the relationship evolves or devolves in something else. And then after some time, you look back and think, if it goes, devolves, or you don't like it, you look back and say, how in the hell I got here? And you look at all the little steps that got you there. So when, let's say, you got to being slapped, right? And you think, slapped for saying something by, let's say, your partner. Never happened to me, okay? Because if that happens, I will return the favor. All right, so clearly, I'm going to defend myself. I'm a human being equal with you. So if you slap me, expect the same candy coming to you. So if you get slapped every time you say something, and you at one point you say, how did I get to this? How did I get to the relationship at the beginning, and I ended up accepting this as a normal fact? And I'm talking about bombarding Beirut. Like the Israelis, another country, Israelis jets attacking, crossing into another country, shooting down or hitting buildings in the capital of that country. Not even, if I read that over there, is not going to be one word said about, whoa, wait a second, isn't that a violation? Is that a declaration of war? United Nations? You will not find that in that article. I'm going to scroll with you here if you want, and I will go down and show you there's nothing like with the very beginning. What do you mean you slapped me? That should have been the first one. What do you mean you slapped me? No, you got now every day to be slapped, and everybody's like, yeah, they just killed and Hezbollah in the capital. The other country hit inside the other country. We have been conditioned to accept being slapped every day when we open our mouth and say, well, it's okay, it's good that we didn't get something. No, from the get-go, they should not have been accepted, a long time ago. So this is when I read this title here, and we're going to go, and this is from Russia Today. It's not from the Americans or the media operatives owned by these guys. So the Israel strike conducted, the operation, the largest escalation. Okay, all right, anything, Hezbollah terrorist, okay, all right, that's the reason why. The Lebanese Paparapa, Hezbollah leader, on Friday, carried out first major airstrikes in Beirut since 2023. So you see, they got one in 2023, another one. But hey, all right, it's an attack was a retaliatory for rockets fired by Hezbollah from Lebanon. Okay, well, these guys do that, these guys do this. It seems like it's a football game or something. We will not allow any firing on our communities, not even a drill zone. Again, we will attack anywhere in Lebanon against any threat to Israel, and we will ensure that all of us in the north return to their home safely. Good. That's excellent. Very good. How did it all start? If you really want to solve a problem, you go to its origin. If you really want. If you don't, you pick whatever you want, your chronology of events, whatever you want. In this case, where did this all start? And it started in 1948. That's where it started. Not as a bad thing, as let's say the creation of that. No, but creation on whose lands? Was anybody displaced and then kicked out? What were the conditions? And then those guys came after you and then you played victim. I mean, if it's done legally and, justly, but you don't take someone else's land and pass it to someone else. If that's the case. So I think the whole thing did not even start there. If you go back in time, you go to where they were allowed to be the bankers of the kings. Like right now, you're a Federal Reserve Bank, and not only. When you were allowed, remember who was that? I know who, but I can't say it. Remember who was that who said, I don't need to be in charge of the government. I just need to control the money of a government, of a state. You remember who that was? One Netanyahu. So they don't need to do that. They just want to control the flow of the money. So everything started with Great Britain. When Great Britain, Balfour Declaration, and that triggered everything over there. If you remember Balfour Declaration, go and check it out. Now, Britain promised to someone else's something that was not even the Britain's, it was just a protectorate, whatever. How is that just? And you tell me, Great Britain, that Russia should retreat from Ukraine and Russia is the aggressor. You dealt someone else's land, you gave it to someone else because that controlled your... Remember in the past, the kings, the British kings, I'm going to use not only the British kings, when they needed money, they went to the usurers, usury, The Christians were not allowed to do that, but these guys were A-okay. That means I give you $1 and in 1 year you give me $50,000. If you agree with that, that's just a, how do you call it, mutual understanding. It's a voluntary deal, right? So the wars that these guys waged in the Middle Ages, for instance, were sponsored by, all right? So they had the money, so they controlled these guys. And eventually they went and say, Great Britain, you're in bad shape. We're going to give you this, we're going to help you with this, you give us that. That is not yours to give. But the Brits said, yeah, we're going to give you. And they have to wait until after the Second World War. So I think that's the origin, all right, the chronology of events. Now you can go to the Romans if you want, but if you want to go to the Romans, you have to go even further. You go to Moses. The promised land. Whose land? There were people on that land. Oh, and then you go even further or back, and you go to the chosen. So we're all my children, but you're my chosen child. I like you more. Slap. Here is a candy. Slap, slap, slap. Everybody. Is that how you do in your family? You have a favorite son, and every other child is you gonna give to this candies or whatever you have. You're gonna play. Is that how it is? How just that? Oh, I know. There's a plan, and it's mysterious ways the plan is implemented. But we're just, and we're free to choose. Come on. All this is still at the incipient cognitive abilities of our ancestors. That's when all this came out. When we saw the thunderbolt, the thunder, we heard the thunder, when we saw the lightning, ooh, that's Zeus, that's God, that's Yahweh again upset with us. What did we do? Let's kill a few guys here, maybe it's gonna start raining. and why the gods are upset. That's how they came into being. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.